Now, a few other technical points. We're back in here. Now, what I want you to see is, from here, let me get this angle for you. Okay, from here, I can remove my elbow, but not by dropping my hand. If I drop my hand, he still has control of my arm. This will be important. My elbow needs to be married to my hip as I step back. Now take a look at the legs. I can't just pull my arm out. It's like an arm punch. It has no power. I have to marry my elbow to my hip to pull it out. You keep it tight to your body, and what we're going to work on is going to this crossover hook. I really don't want to work too much on the upper architecture, reference fisticuffs, but it's going to be important for our fluid drills to have some basic understanding of the 4 elements of the clinch here. Here we have a locking arm, here we have a power transfer. Look at this. Blast him into the head, okay? Into his gut, into his groin, his thighs, okay? If we're at hip depth, we can't really apply our knees too well from here. What we need is space, okay? I turn this way. As soon as he gets his hips out, he's exposed himself. However, what we're going to be working on is where the hips are married here. It's very easy once the hips are married to give him flight lessons, and we're going to be working on that. The hips married together. However, what I want you to see is, first, some of the, can you come back upstairs? Some of the things that we can do to administrate this upper clinch work. Okay, for instance, if you take this arm, lift it, gain wrist control. Now you can switch back out to here, plus we're even at a broader depth. Don't do that, you'll break your arm. There you go. Okay. From here, we can come out to ankle depth because we're far away enough. And we can start to blast into these, give them shock, and then send them sailing. Just a couple points for removing yourself. Wham. Plus from here, if you can see this upstairs, you're in a great place to start moving his body in whizzer fashion, to start causing some high amplitude throws and takedowns just from the torque that you can cause to his shoulder. Now those are just some basic points. The last and main point is, if your chests are together, your hips should be out for defense and in for offense. It's not a hard and fast rule, but if your hips are out, you're defending from grappling. If he comes in for a throw or a lift, you can block it by having your hips out. You can even lean on him so he carries your weight. Go ahead and throw me. Your hips out, block grappling. Your hips out, enable striking. Cue striking. Wham. He starts blasting you into those vulnerable areas of your legs. So the problem is, wherever your hips are, you're vulnerable either to striking or grappling. Okay? The benefit of that is, no matter where his hips are, he's vulnerable to what you do. One or the other. So if his hips are out, you know what you can do to him. Okay? If his hips are in, now we have the ability to start causing some high amplitude throws. That should be your understanding of the training protocol for hip depth. Now, let's start to take some of this static work and bring in fluid. We're going to start from this controlling position. We're here in secure. We're going to work on shock. Now, notice our hips are out. You can actually give him some encouragement to move out by just rotating your forearm outward to press. Once you do that, just like you're blocking his far knee, now right now he would want to throw this other knee, but it exposes him. I gave him a little juice on that one. But that's where your strikes are. So what Dan and I are going to do is we're going to put each other's hips back, and we're also going to block incoming knee strikes. And we're going to do this fluidly, meaning it's asymmetrical. I'm trying to apply blows and he's trying to apply blows. Good. So you can see it's a lot more gray than it is black and white. When you keep the hips out, in order to travel the distance, your level changes in order to bring your knee in for striking. When you bring your knee in for striking and you become a lawn dart, standing balancing on one leg, you're easy toast for flying skies. So make sure that you're keeping your knee bent. Now come downstairs, back to the basic exercise. Keep your knee bent, keep a good secure hold, and keep your posture low. You don't have to throw your knee strikes up at his head. However, if his head's exposed, it's because of this. Wham! Okay? He gets his head out and he put your head away from his shoulder. Here, he's trying to stay away and look what's going on. Well, yeah, then. But not... This isn't the Rockettes, okay? Keep these low and tactical. And the reason being, try and change the plane of his hips. There we go. We're going to screw him right into the ground. The triangle point's right where I am right now. Now a little injection of swing dance. You're in overhook, underhook. He comes to knee. Now as he's kneeing, that force is lifting here. You should feel it. Your hip should capture it to bring him around in a very tight circle. I'm going to do it from this angle. As the knee comes in, you should feel it load. Notice that I'm not doing this. His hips are out, and I go, I try and do my hip toss. It's not a technique that you're applying. You're feeling him go to kick you. Go ahead. It comes up your body. As you marry with this force, he's toast. Now, it's a good fluid drill where I go to knee him. He helps me up. He goes to knee me. I go to knee him. Some reap to it. Okay. Step back and get a good knee. And so on, back and forth. Let's take your whizzer and make a throw out of it. So, in this angle, as you get wrist control, bring your elbow in method 2, get a cross overhook. Now you're at shoulder depth. The triangle point, if I remove this leg, his triangle point's out in front. Now if I keep wrist control and I torque in the middle of his upper arm, his shoulder will release the force towards the triangle point. If it doesn't release the force, his shoulder will. So, downward. So we're here. I get wrist control, lift him up, put my elbow in, cross. Jam the shoulder down. Now, even if he just gets his base by putting his leg out, put your leg out, keep his balance. Look what happens. Okay? he exposes himself to a big old knee. So one last time. Lift the shoulder, expose the wrist. Get wrist control, underhook, overhook. And of course, you can transfer and incorporate your fisticuffs to start rending and applying your upstairs architecture for some additional force application. Let's work on a different transitionary hold. We'll start in head and arm from here. As we elevate our chest, we can come across and grab the waist. It's half of a body lock or a gut wrench. You can see I'm pulling his hip into mine. This arm can stay and apply blows from here, but it's more of a pulling, so I personally prefer to elbow block. Try and keep a hold from here. Now, if he's going to continue to apply blows, throw that knee. Get some good juice in there. He's got to open up his body in order to throw those knees in. This position actually happens quite a bit, as it's almost like a head and arm position for judo and sambo to get a good arm drag into a cross-side hold down. But the problem with him right now is once he goes to knee, he exposes his weight. Look downstairs. Now watch his back leg slowly cock. As it comes in, he weight transfers here, which brings all of his mass screwing upwards in my center mass. It's easy to unbalance him from here. So, we're here. I reach across his waist. He capitalizes on this by going for a knee. Now, I'm holding Dan so I don't blast him into the concrete. But the important part is to start to get a feel for when he weight transfers to apply strikes. And I'm going to let you hit the rewind button on that one. But I want you to focus on feeling where his hips come in, where he transfers his weight on his forward leg. That's the purpose of these fluid drills. I can't emphasize it enough. Get a feel through collecting data.